So Strays is the new raunchy comedy starring the voice talent of Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx, and they play a pair of best pal dogs who get into the most ludicrous of situations together. Will Ferrell voices a naive but lovable dog named Reggie, who's abandoned on the city streets by his low-life owner who hates dogs. That automatically makes him a horrible human being in my book. So Reggie falls in as a stray with a fast-talking, foul-mouthed Boston Terrier voiced by Jamie Foxx, along with his gang of stray misfit buddies. Reggie is determined to seek revenge, and he and his new canine pals embark on an epic adventure to get him back home. And they're gonna make Doug pay for his dirty deed in a way that I dare not spoil. Sometimes revenge plots like this are left to be the most simple. And that's a big reason why Strays actually works. I left this theater tonight not really, I knew what to expect. And the movie gives you exactly as they advertise it. There is an absurd amount of raunch in there. Loads of F-bombs dropped in this movie within the first 10 minutes or so. And that's not even half of them. Holy bananas. If you guys think you're expecting a PG cutesy dog movie in the style of Marley and Me, for example, that's not what this movie is at all. This movie does not misdirect you in any facet. When it tells you it's got a bunch of raunch in the trailer, it's got it. But this movie really surprised me in being so freaking heartfelt. It's got a lot to say about abusive relationships and how people can find their way out of it and escape. And I think despite the raunch, it handles that sort of material with a lot of, heartfelt class. I can't believe I'm saying that about Strays, but that's what it is. It feels like this is a movie that was written for people like me. Strays feels like it was a movie that is supposed to cater to the dog lover. And I'm sure if you're a dog lover, you're gonna think this is one of the best movies of the year. Of course, I as a critic had to take the rose-colored glasses off and call things like I see it. As it stands, Strays is a lot more fun than I was expecting. I was very amused by a lot of the humor. Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx I thought were both fantastic in the movie, sharing a lot of great chemistry. A lot of the banter they have is extremely filthy. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of groan-inducing humor. Some people might be annoyed by the overabundance of piss and poop jokes in here, but come on. This is a movie about dogs. How many people have walked their dog and they've felt the need to piss on a fire hydrant just so they could claim their territory? Not to get too deep into spoilers, but that's a pretty big running joke in Strays. If you're expecting to walk out of a movie about dogs, a comedy no less, without any piss jokes in there, I don't know what else you were expecting, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. And I don't want to say this movie is the most memorable comedy of the year for sure, but when it goes for the shock factor, it absolutely goes for it, especially with the ending. Some people who worked at the movie theater I went to today to watch this thing, they had already seen it, and they were telling me that the ending is like pitch perfect cinema in the most sarcastic way possible. And now I definitely see what they're saying. My only regret about seeing this movie when I did, there were only 2 other people in this auditorium with me, which, again, this can lead to a great viewing experience because you're not going to have a bunch of people chit-chatting behind you. But I would have loved to have seen the reaction of a packed movie theater at this ending. Because, not to get too deep into spoilers, but I don't think it's something I'm ever going to forget. It honestly kind of reminded me of the ending of Sausage Party. If you guys have seen Sausage Party, and if you've sat through that shocking movie all the way through, my God, dude. Let's just say it certainly makes me never want to be bit by a dog ever again. Now, even though Strays does have 2 great leading performances and some surprisingly heartfelt messages, absolutely it's not a perfect film. It's a very easy movie to sit through, sitting at a brisk hour and a half. And I appreciate movies like that don't really beat around the bush too much. But when you look at the concept of this movie and just seeing the CGI mouths moving on dogs, with what technology has become in the 2020s, looking at this nowadays kind of makes this feel like a step backwards. This looks like a movie that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, say like Cats and Dogs, the Garfield movie, God forbid. Oh my God, that piece of shit. These are movies I grew up watching and I thought they were the coolest things ever. Now as a guy who's closing in on 27 years old, I think more than anything, Strays is gonna hold up as a bit of a novelty. But once you kind of look past the gimmick and past the service level, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of surprising messages in here about abusive relationships. But yeah, a lot of the movie's humor for the most part is the gimmick. The jokes themselves I wouldn't say are groundbreaking. Like I said, I don't really remember myself gut-busting laughing like a ton throughout this thing. Yeah, the jokes were funny. But I feel like a lot of the best humor was already given to you in the trailer. And the big punchline of a lot of that joke was given to you in the trailer, so there's not really a whole lot other shock factor anymore. These are just little things that I noticed. Despite the best jokes being given away in the publicity and the movie looking like it came out in 2001, Strays is a fun time. I was pretty amused for the most part. I'm gonna give Strays a B-. I know that grade might be ridiculously high for a lot of you, but again, as someone who loves dogs, this movie was written for someone like me to enjoy. But let me know what you thought of Strays down in the comments section below. Are you guys dog owners as well? Because I've got a Newfoundland at home. Here's a picture of him. Oh, Julius, I love you, buddy. He's such a good boy, isn't he? Look at him. But guys, I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment here on the regular. Do consider becoming a subscriber and tap on that thumbs up on your way out. Really helps continue to grow this community that we already are over here. Y'all are invited to the party. What the heck are you waiting for? Join us. Look out for more videos hitting the channel very soon. Yeah, Gran Turismo's coming out next week, and I'm not really all that much looking forward to it, just judging from how much the studio is shoving it down my throat right now. But joking aside, guys, y'all are the best. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.